TikTok, what's good? How y'all doing, man? This morning, welcome to the Rated R show, man, over here on TikTok. What I want to talk to you guys this morning, man, about, the real truth about what has happened to R.Kelly. Because, it's a network of people out on the internet, especially on YouTube, that has taken this breaking news that came out last week, and they're trying to create narratives, and they trying to deflect from what has happened. And what I want to do over here on TikTok, I want to, keep it fresh and funky and let you know that not only was this breaking news and it was devastating, but this news had already been reported on from the beginning. Hey, Frankie and Johnny, good morning. How you doing? You guys make sure you tap that screen and share the live, man. Tap the screen and share the live. It's TikTok, baby. Yeah. So we've been on this journey with R. Kelly for quite some time. And as many of you know, he's been incarcerated since July of 2019. A lot of people really don't know about the charges, what he was incarcerated for, and all that information is out there. The thing about it is this: the breaking news that came out last week about government corruption and misconduct is nothing new to me. And I'm going to prove it to you right here, right now. If many of you know that it was delays in R. Kelly's trials from the beginning and everything like that. And at that time, we was dealing with COVID and things like that. And they was using that as an excuse to not have his trial started and all. But at the end of the day, it was a lot of corrupt things going on. It was a lot of corrupt things going on. A lot of people who should have been held accountable, but somehow they wasn't. So what I want to do is I want to let you know that it was definitely reported on in real time. And I want you guys to listen to this because, again, we got a group of people that's on social media, that's especially on YouTube, that are trying to create narratives, trying to discredit this breaking news that came out last week about the misconduct and the threat against R. Kelly. It is not fake news. That is real news. It was broadcasted on real news. So what we're going to do is I'm going to let you hear from the beginning. From the beginning. Do you hear me? Frankie and Johnny, I don't think they hear me. From the beginning. It was reported that misconduct was going on in this man's case during the middle of his New York trial. Why did not anybody report on it? Why did not anybody report on it? And at the end of the day, you don't cheat to win. You do not cheat to win. So what I want to do right now, before we get started, tap that screen, share this live right now, because this is something serious that people are really trying to make a mockery out of. They're trying to make a joke out of, as if this is fake news that has came about with R. Kelly. So I want to prove to you guys over here on the TikTok live over here that it was reported on in real time that this brother's rights was being violated and they was cheating to win. So tap that screen and share this live, man. And listen, I know some of y'all probably in the bushes, and some of y'all probably might even be connected to the networks. Hey, I don't worry about none of that, because at the end of the day, we're going to push this truth out there. Hey, welcome to the Rated R show.
As we go further, as we stand right here, and it's R. Kelly's news. Some news came out on yesterday.
September the
And,
7th,
you know,
2021.
it seems like every day there's something just. I mean, I just trying to tell you. I mean, what can you say? It's like a television series, like I told you guys before. Now, this is public information, so you guys can go and Google.
What's up, redhead freckles?
You know what I mean? And understand that, you know, it's something
Ice baby
that is going on with this case.
Anthony
And
Glenn.
there's going to be some people that's involved that's, you know,
Y'all pay attention.
You know, going to be questioned, you know, investigated and whatnot. So here it is. This is from the Chicago Tribune.
Pay attention.
R&B superstar R.Kelly had been knocked up at the Chicago federal jail for 4 months when a popular YouTube personality touted an inside scoop on the singer's tumultuous relationship with 2 girlfriends still living in his high-rise apartment. Apparently, wanting to keep the women in his camp, Kelly allegedly had a friend bring $1,500 in cash to the Trump Tower to help pay their bills. Blogger
Tasha K.
TK said in an exclusive video post to her YouTube channel in 2019, November 2019. One of them, Joycelyn Savage, was angry she'd been kept off Kelly's visitors list, according to TK. The other, y'all know who that is, had left the apartment and not
Azriel
come back,
Clare.
throwing Kelly into a tizzy, she said. How did Tasha K know all this? Well, she wasn't telling. Yeah, there's a phone tap somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where it's at. TK told her viewers during the 39-minute video, which has so far collected more than 328,000 views.
Tap the screen. What's up, Cookie Monster?
I'm not going to tell you where I got the information from, but just listen
Shirley.
to the damn information, okay, she says. Now it appears federal investigators allegedly know exactly how TK was plugged in. A federal search warrant recently unsealed in the Chicago shows that agents seized a laptop from the U.S. Bureau of Prisons officer who was suspect of illegally accessing Kelly's phone records, emails, and visit logs, other restricted information during his stay at the MCC.
So let me pause it right there for a second. You got some people that's out on the internet, on YouTube, trying to make it seem like that these situations that came out last week did not exist. What I'm letting you know that it did exist. And this was reported September the 7th, 2021, in the middle of R. Kelly's New York trial. Hey, tap that screen and share the live, baby.
Look, man, I told you guys from the beginning this shit sounded like a movie. Didn't I say that? Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I not tell you that? The female officer, who at the time worked as a disciplinary hearing officer at the federal prison in Wisconsin, accessed Kelly's record more than 150 times.
More than 150 times his records was accessed.
In a 6-month period in 2019. Even though the officer was not assigned to the MCC and had no official reason to be looking them up, according to a 24-page document obtained by the Tribune. The officer, identified only as Officer A, also emailed herself a 12-page scan of Kelly's jail records, According to the affidavit from the investigator with the U.S. Justice Department Inspector's General's Office. Now, here's the craziness right here. The officer retired in December 2019, according to the affidavit, and she has not been charged. Well, I guess we'll see about that. The unsealing of the search warrant comes in the middle of Kelly's racketeering trial in New York on the charges he alleged.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Let me run that back so you can hear that. The unsealing of this warrant about what happened with the breaching of his information happened in the middle of his New York trial. And nobody reported on it?
We'll see about that. The unsealing of the search warrant comes in the middle of Kelly's racketeering trial in New York on the charges he allegedly...
See, this is the part that I like. That's why I keep this in my back pocket. The unsealing of the charges with this warrant of his information was breached in the middle of his New York trial. But you got some people on YouTube trying to act like it didn't happen.
We'll see about that. The unsealing of the search warrant comes in the middle of Kelly's racketeering trial in New York on the charges he allegedly he is head of a criminal enterprise, which we know is all crumbling now. It's crumbling in front of our face. Kelly is identified in the warrant only as MA, though he's described as a nationally recognized celebrity whose criminal case has received media attention. Sources confirm the investigation of videos referenced in the federal document line up with Kelly-related videos posted on YouTube. In the email statement Tuesday, the BOP spokesman wrote to the Bureau could not comment on the issues pending investigation for privacy, safety, and security reasons.
Now, let's have some real talk right here, conversation, people over here on TikTok. Now, a lot of these high-profile situations got kicked off in the late teens before we got into the 2020s. And the number one person that was being scrutinized in the media, in the public at the time was Jeffrey Epstein, okay? Now, it has been so many stories about what has happened to Jeffrey Epstein. Let's just say, for instance, if this government misconduct and corruption has been going on and people don't have a clear idea of what happened to Jeffrey Epstein, I think when you think about the trials that has already went through, such as the R.Kelly trials, right now, most currently, the Diddy trial, and of course, you had the YSL trial, you had Tory Lanez trial, all of those things, especially men of color, to where you have the community of color that has been brassed into these situations to form their judgment and their opinions. Now, if we had to back it up and just use our common sense, say, for instance, if Jeffrey Epstein had went to trial, I said this on my live last week, I believe we would have had to usher in a whole new government because of the type of names that was attached to Jeffrey Epstein. So, was there some misconduct dealing with Jeffrey Epstein to where he's not here anymore because they didn't want certain things to get out? According to what has been put out there last week about R.Kelly and his attorneys actually have proof when it comes down to what has been said that his life being in danger. I mean, R. Kelly has been through this before with another inmate before he was transferred down to Butner. So now, with this situation, people trying to make it seem like it's far-fetched, like it's unbelievable. How is it unbelievable when right now, today, I just played a clip from where I reported on this misconduct that was happening, that it was reported in the middle of his New York trial. How can you debunk that? How can you debunk that? You just can't. You just can't. But let's proceed.
So I'm not going to go any further in it because you guys, this is public access. You guys can go and read this yourself on Google. I'm not going to do all of that. But it's well detailed article that was posted by the Chicago Tribune.
Good morning, everybody.
Yesterday.
Be sure to tap that screen and you can share the live. Victoria, James, Charles, Red Kingdom.
Mr. Kelly's Fourth Amendment rights was violated, and his 14th Amendment rights was violated. The Fourth Amendment rights is his privacy right, and the 14th Amendment right is his equal protection under the law. An individual, even in prison, has a right to reasonable expectation of at least limited privacy and to be free from negligent use, arbitrary interference. So, as we can see here, this situation has it's crumbling. It's crumbling. It's all kinds of things.
We would not be right here today talking about R. Kelly if it wasn't some funk in the game. I have said that so many times. So many times. And while everyone was caught up with the stories and all the different weirdness, like with the transcripts and all that, you know what? I had to stay stuck on what really happened to R. Kelly. And what really happened to R. Kelly is that he got set up. Some people got in the mix with the government. There are informants that have been sabotaging, running interference, and everything. And right now, you got a network of people that has been on YouTube ever since the breaking news last week, spiraling out of control, trying to deflect from their involvement with this government misconduct. I say free R. Kelly. Divorce your thoughts. Free R. Kelly. It's a lot of people who have been brainwashed through the likes of the entertainment media that have formed a judgment, failing to realize that these people's got paid to tell a lie. These people have not helped anyone overcome any type of traumas that they have alleged. I have been around people who have endured such traumas, and their behavior is totally different from what I have seen out here on the media, especially social media. Most of the time, someone who has been traumatized like that, they're not even going to adapt to social media or the media at all. But for some reason, you got a group of people who have bamboozled the most into thinking that what they say is right, their value and their words worth more than R. Kelly's attorneys or anyone who speaks in the defense for this brother. But I'm here this morning to let you know the real truth is the misconduct was reported from the beginning. And you heard it here on TikTok Live. Rated R Show over here on TikTok. Hey, let me give a shout out to everybody who came through, man. Eddie, Kelly, Frankie, and Johnny, thank you for coming over here and moderating. Red Kingdom, Epic Lobster Man, Griffin 420, The original Honey, I don't know who that is. A.Z. Craig, A. Bolin, Spellerama, Ice Baby, Redhead and Freckles. Hey, I appreciate everybody who came through. Anthony Glenn, Julian Lyons, G Money. Hey, I thank you guys for stopping through. Divorce your thoughts, man, and really start to understand exactly what happened to R. Kelly, because we in the middle of history. Don't let these jabronis out here on the internet tell you otherwise. It's free R. Kelly.